AFC is Kansas City, Houston. With a win, the Texans would have a 78% chance to make the playoffs. With a loss, Kansas City would have just a 12% chance of making the playoffs. Peter, I feel like I've asked this question like 3 weeks in a row. Now I think it's absolutely the end if it doesn't happen. Are we looking at the end of the dynasty Sunday night at Arrowhead?
I go back in time, and I look for Andy Reid to give us something to hang our heads on here. Go back to 2005. The Philadelphia Eagles were a 5-6 team with Jeff Garcia at quarterback, and on a night game, they beat Carolina, then rattled off 5 straight wins. Why am I showing Dante Stallworth in the 2005 Philadelphia Eagles? Because that's what Andy Reid can bank on. I've done this before. I've been with teams that have done this before. And the Chiefs have won so many big games in that building, and they have owned the Texans in recent years. I know, Bart, I'm digging deep in the argument. That was an Ed's D.
That was no D.
I know, that was no D. But this is what I'm saying. There has been a history of Andy Reid finding a way, but it has also been 20 years.
Well, it's ironic that you're saying the D, because that's really the difference here, right? That Houston defense is the best in the entire NFL.
I mean, you talk about they have 2 relentless pass rushers on the outside, and the coach just knows how to coach defense. When we've seen, when we've seen Kansas City struggle in the 2 Super Bowls, it's been this recipe. And it's been Mahomes having to do too much. And I feel like Travis Kelce isn't the equalizer they used to be anymore to be able to take that burden when you have these hot routes and when you got Patrick Mahomes under pressure.
So here's what I want people to understand about the last 5 games for Patrick Mahomes. 16 sacks he's taken, 50 QB hits. So when I'm looking at the number 1 defense in the league, who's great at all 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and secondary, Danielle Hunter, and you also have Will Anderson Jr. 21.5 sacks between those 2 guys. I think it could be a nightmare afternoon for Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion.
If you want to see a blueprint for how it could look as far as a worst-case scenario for Patrick, just look at the game that Houston just played recently against Buffalo. And look at what Josh Allen, they were chasing him like this all game long. And how many times they sacked in that game? Was it 6, 8 times that game?
Yep.
And look, Will Anderson went crazy in that game. Patrick can't look, and we've already seen that Patrick's just not seeing it the same. He's not trusting it the same as he always has. And he has receivers running open. He has outlets. He has big shots down the field that he's not pulling the trigger. And he's holding the ball for 2.5 plus.
Are you right?
Not against this football team.
Are you writing no obituary?
You know what? I don't want to get. I don't want to get into that kind of hyperbole.
No, but this season it could be done.
But I picked the Texans.
It could be done by December 7th. I mean, December 7th.
Oh, yeah. It's
wild.
different. And the offensive line is not healthy in Kansas City. The running game is so inconsistent or non-existent. It doesn't look good.
What does Joe Fortenbaugh say? We got the Chiefs. You made the point to me earlier this week, Joe. In this exact matchup, in the playoffs last year, Kansas City was a 10-point favorite. Now, the last I saw, the number was only 3.5. What's your best bet?
I would lean to the Chiefs there, but if you want the best bet, you want to play the under 41.5. Money's been coming in on that all week, and for good reason. Kansas City home games, shockingly, are lower scoring affairs. 5-1 to the under at Arrowhead Stadium this season. Why is that? Crowd noise helps the defense, but the offense takes these long, methodical drives where even when they're scoring, it's still eating a lot of time off the clock. On the other side, you have the 21st ranked scoring offense in Houston, but the number 1 ranked scoring defense. That'll be the difference. The pressure on Mahomes, we go under 41.5.
So he's got 2 unders so far working. Let me do one more game quickly here. Ravens Steelers in the AFC North means everything. Ravens win, they have a 75% chance to win the division. Steelers win, they have a 63% chance to win the division. So it is absolutely everything. I don't know if the game comes down to this or not, but neither quarterback looks like him. Rodgers is beat to shreds. Lamar may also be, and is just sort of playing with absolutely everything wrong with him. Which quarterback do you expect to play better on Sunday?
I get the feeling that, look, Lamar at some point in time has to start to catch fire, especially with his tight ends, especially with his accuracy in the middle of the field. It's just been something that's kind of been weird. It's been weird seeing him miss some of the throws that he has missed. It's been weird to see this football team almost kind of like looking around at one another like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is not Baltimore Raven football. That's not how this football team usually kind of moves on a football field. I expect them to kind of catch their groove to some degree. I do think, and I never thought I would have said this 3 weeks ago, that Cincinnati is alive now.
Yep.
Because the difference that if there's ever was an example of a guy who is in the words of Mike Tannenbaum, a force multiplier, it is Joe Burrow. There's just no doubt about that. The team plays better when he's around.
Yep.
And I think that team, all of a sudden now, is not dead. And these two right here are on like life support.
If
But I think Lamar is the one who rises.
I mean, if Cincinnati beats Buffalo, they have a real shot. Real quickly down the line, one quick take on this game.
Well, good luck with that. You know, in these all matchups, I've been a part of maybe 14 or 15 of them. The most physical team always wins. And Pittsburgh has a way, and Baltimore has a way of bringing the best out of them. You're going to get a competitive game because it means a lot, not only to the alumni, but also to the people.
Look at that.
I have nothing great to say about the Ravens. I just looked at that Steelers team on Sunday. I don't know how that team suddenly can turn it around and win a road game. I will also say this. I'm almost more interested in the loser of this game and what we're talking about Monday morning as far as the coach, the quarterback, and all of that.
I co-sign everything you just said. Final word.
Yeah,
We would
Baltimore
talk about the
Ravens,
loser.
I trust the surrounding pieces around Lamar Jackson
talent.
more so than I trust the surrounding pieces around Aaron
I
Rodgers.
trust Lamar more.
Joe, best bet.
Ravens minus the 5.5. 10 days to get ready for the game. Should be able to run. Did you see what James Cook did against this run defense last week? If you're able to do that, you're able to open up the passing game. It's mostly a bet against Pittsburgh. I mean, they're 20th or worse in scoring offense and scoring defense. They can't hit big plays down the field. It's been like 5 weeks since they've completed a pass of more than 20 yards. Everyone's calling for the coach's job. The quarterback's calling out the wide receivers. Baltimore's the play.
Yeah, Steelers have a commanding lead in the division and a 59% chance to win the division. However, if Green Bay wins, their chances of winning the North jump to 70%. I said it earlier, I feel like we keep moving the goalposts on what this means for the Bears. The big test was last week. Actually, no, Philadelphia stinks. Now the big test is this week. Are the Bears, do you believe these young Bears, and I know they have some veteran leadership on that team, but we still, Ben's first year as a coach and Caleb, are they ready for this test at Lambeau Field?
Yeah, I think they are, in particular on the offensive side of the football. I think they're built the right way. And I think Ben Johnson has talked about the fact that, look, they purposely went through room to room and made sure like that mix was perfect in terms of veterans and young players. On the offensive side of the football, in particular, on the right side of this offensive line, where you got Jonah Jackson, and you got this, look at the kind of movement that they're getting here at the point of attack and the way in which they're able to average almost close to 5 yards per carry on this season. And the reason why is because of, one, the line of scrimmage is being captured on a consistent basis, and number two, DeAndre Swift. Are you kidding me? You see the way he is running. You see some of the messages he sent in that game early on with the way he was looking up defensive backs and running them over. That's what has to be done against Green Bay.
Let me ask my linebacker here, because Green Bay's defense is different from others. I mean, I think we thought the Eagles were a super stout run defense.
Yeah.
We saw what the Cowboys did to them. We think of the Packers as more of a pass rushing group.
Yeah.
Do you think the Bears can run it like that again this weekend?
It depends on the plan, right? And, the Bears feel like they have an advantage. And when you buy in, you feel like you have an advantage schematically because your coach is always going to give you a great game plan. It gives you a lot of confidence. But really, this game is going to be won at the line of scrimmage, but also at the second level. Because what it is a lot of eye wash, right? It's a lot of shift motions and pay attention to this, but they're just power runs. Cutbacks, wind backs. So those linebackers don't have to be disciplined at the second level to make sure that they have to fall back. Because what they do a great job of is splitting the defense. When you talk about the movement, you talk about cutting the defense and creating running lanes that guys have to fill.
I spoke with Ben for a while this week, and that question right there, how can Caleb be successful versus Packers defense? People are now looking at Caleb Williams' statistics and saying he's actually not playing well. He's actually got, a bad completion percentage. Got to understand that Ben Johnson is not asking him to be Drake May. He's not asking him to be Jaden Daniels from a year ago. He's asking him to run that offense. And what he's done now from before the bye week is light years from what he was doing. And a lot of that stuff is just trusting the cadence. That offsides that they pulled the Eagles on last year, Caleb Williams was not doing that a year ago. He has full command of the line of scrimmage. And this is the play here. Look at this. This is a huge play on 3rd and 5. Watch Caleb afterwards, because he knows this is a different version of what I was doing last. Yeah. You would never think on the road that Caleb Williams would have that mastery of the line. And I know that's not the stuff that everyone wants to see. They want to see razzle-dazzle and throwing and all this stuff. It's just not what Ben Johnson's asking of him yet.
It's all about first and second down production for the Chicago Bears, right? And to try to eliminate or minimize the pass rushes of the Green Bay Packers. Michael Parsons, Rashawn Gary. We know Michael Parsons is going to line up everywhere amongst the defensive line. But what Ben Johnson does a great job of as a play caller, shifts, motions, eye candy. I'm going to give this defense one more thing to think about before we even snap the football. I love the two-headed monster with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. Let's not forget him. Yeah. I covered him in a bowl game 2 years ago.
7th round pick.
In the Pinstripe Bowl, where he rushed against Miami for 160-plus yards and a touchdown. This young man, I like the way he's playing. Offensive lineman, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney.
Darnell Wright.
Guys.
Darnell Wright.
There you go.
But those three guys, they went and got in the
Interior.
offseason.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we see the fruits of going out and getting those guys.
No, I'm with you, Harry. I'm just saying this. Caleb Williams is not just a passenger on this train, though. He has made plenty of plays.
Yes.
He just needs to kind of smooth it out as far as consistency. But this, think back to the Giants game. Think about some of the throws he made in that game late. As far as some of the throws, the off-schedule throws, off-platform throws, he's got it. This whole offense has got it right now.
Joe Fortenbaugh.